Global warming is one of the biggest problems our society has been faced with in recent years. A census from the IPCC shows that over 97% of climate scientists believe that global warming is real and man-made. But what is the real cause of global warming? An abundant amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, which trap in UV light from the sun, making the climate warmer. One of the most abundant greenhouse gas is CO2, which is what we're going to be talking about today. CO2 can stay in the atmosphere for from 300 to over 1,000 years. 1,000 years ago, President Washington, Christopher Columbus, and Genghis Khan were far from being born. CO2 is such a big threat that if the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere doubles, the overall climate could raise to over 5 degrees. One of the best ways to stop global warming's effects is to halt the emissions of greenhouse gases and CO2, but we can't do that without talking about the carbon cycle first. This is the carbon cycle. CO2 starts off in the atmosphere and is absorbed by trees and forests by using photosynthesis. Then, when those trees and forests die and decay, CO2 is trapped in the ground. Usually, in the olden days, CO2 was let out from the ground by volcanic eruptions, but now we burn fossil fuels, which we find in the ground. But when you burn fossil fuels, we're letting out CO2 that took millions of years to trap in just a few years. We are letting out so much CO2 at such a rapid pace that plants on land and in the sea can't keep up. And with rapid deforestation, we are worsening the effects of global warming. So, what are the causes of deforestation? Well, the biggest cause is industrial farming. Industrial farms in total occupy 45% of the Earth's land, and usually that land comes from deforestation. Every minute, the size of 7 football fields is being bulldozed. Every hour, the size of 420 football fields is being bulldozed. And every day, 10,080 football fields is being bulldozed for industrial farms. Industrial farms also tend to waste the land. With 1 acre of land, you could produce over 50,000 tomatoes. With that same acre of land, you could only produce 258 pounds of beef. Another big cause of deforestation is the production of palm oil. In countries like Indonesia and Malaysia, farmers are cutting down healthy forests and replacing them with palm trees in order to harvest palm oil. This may not seem so bad, but when you cut down a tree, you're releasing all the CO2 that's been stored inside of it, making deforestation accountable for 10% of worldwide emissions of CO2. And usually, palm trees can't make that up. So how can you separate yourself from all this mass deforestation? First, you can cut down meat that you get from industrial farms by buying meat from local farms instead, or just switching to a more plant-based diet. And second, you can also cut down products that have palm oil. You may not think you use a lot of palm oil, but if you use soap, shampoo, gas, and detergent, you're using palm oil right there. We need to be more careful about the products that we choose and look at the ingredients list a little more carefully. Lastly, you can support organizations that protect forests, which is exactly what the Sustainable Fairfield Students are trying to do. We are holding a GoFundMe fundraiser in honor of the National Forest Foundation to help donate money to them. The National Forest Foundation helps protect forests all over the United States of America, which will be crucial against the fight against deforestation and global warming. Please help and donate. Although this may not be the solution to global warming, this is a big step in the right direction. Thank you.